upstate New York, Syracuse University, and under the dome today, we have a terrific clash in store. And boy, do we have a fun one ahead. Top 10 team, target on their back, going on their road and right into the snake pit. As we'll see a team coming off a crucial bye week, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on the Syracuse Orange. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Alabama about to kick off to get this game underway. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. First down here for the offense.
Lasso! Lasso!
They'll run it out of the shotgun. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
This offensive line better figure out a plan for this D tackle. He is tough to block with one guy. You might want to start double teaming him. He's going to be a problem moving forward. You saw all of his ability on that last play.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8.
Easy!
The give to the back. And they drag him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a first down.
Okay, ready?
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line.
Let's go!
Keeping it on the ground with the running back. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43.
Yeah, and a great job by the offensive line, seeing the blitz, picking it up, and then it's on the running back. The running back finds the hole, gets a little bit of a crease, makes a nice run out of it.
The give to the tailback. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
They have it at the 43, 3rd and short, trying to avoid making a decision on 4th down. Offense calls a timeout here, critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. As they come to the line on 3rd and short from the 43, I wonder if they already know they'll go for it if they don't make it here. They're trying to get to him. And the freshman will chalk up a sack.
And that is how you silence this raucous crowd. Defensively on the road. First drive of the game, setting the tone, getting a huge sack on 3rd down.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. First down here for the offense.
Moves! Ready, ready!
Here's the handoff. And a really nice run and pick up there before the defense avoided disaster and stopped the really big play.
Really good-looking run. You know, you think about the legacy Alabama has at the running back position. It's ridiculous. Mark Ingram won a Heisman, obviously. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go back to Sean Alexander, who I played against back in the day, too. All these guys had speed. All these guys had vision and quickness. And this guy right here, he has all of those traits himself. Just another big-time talent in the Crimson Tide backfield.
Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all offseason, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6.
Cobra. Ready.
Dropping back, it's Winton. Floating away. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he scoots his way to the 1st down and then slides to avoid the hit.
Nice job. Nice way to end that play for the QB. He does a really good job scrambling, getting the 1st down, and getting down. Because defensively, I'm trying to get a lick. Anytime I can hit the quarterback, that is a win.
Alabama rolling quickly downfield, set up with another 1st down. Lets it fly. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Well, man, I mean, you don't get more wide open than that, right? Big fella running down the field, nobody near him. Quarterback puts it on him. You just got to make the catch.
Ready.
After the incompletion, looking at 2nd down.
Hound 55 feet.
Keeping it on the ground with the single back. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
They're going to go right back to him on 1st down. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds.
On the double.
After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6.
Spider.
Power football with the run. Plows ahead for a pickup of 4 down to the 14.
Well, that didn't bust for a long one, but now 3rd down becomes very manageable. It's not 3rd in eternity. Now the whole playbook, short passing game, long passing game, all of it's available.
Okay, ready.
Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal.
42 Spider. 4-2 Spider. Alert. Ready.
On 3rd and short, trying to impose their will and move the chains. Looks like Alabama will pick up the 1st down.
This offense knew coming into this one, guys, how important it was to start early. And on this opening drive for them, they're doing a nice job running the football. They're on 3rd down. They're in a position on the field now. If you're on defense, you got to be ready for a shot throw into the end zone.
Got it.
The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10.
Igloo.
Might as well give it to him again. And he's knocked down, but there's also a flag that's been dropped. Let's check on the call. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty.
Ready.
They are controlling the ball. 9th play of the drive.
Lasso. Lasso.
Scanning the field, it's Winton. Pocket starts to collapse. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
Great decision by the quarterback, and there's a danger on defense. When you play man coverage against this guy, when you've got DBs and their backs are turned to the QB, if you're not careful, he'll just tuck it and run and take off, and by the time all those DBs and defenders had turned around, it was way too late. He was gone.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. An impressive 66-yard touchdown drive. And the score came on an impressive run from the 20. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line.
Okay.
The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, and it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter out there. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
Ready.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10.
Moves.
The receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On 2nd down, wants to throw. Had to get rid of it quickly. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down.
And this defense picking up right where it left off. Last week put a great game together, really shut down an opponent. Now you can tell, man, they're going to make you earn everything you get. And this offense is going to have to find a way to find some holes because we haven't seen them the last couple weeks.
On the ready.
I know you want to keep the ball away from the other offense, but going for it inside your own 40? On 4th down, trying to find his man. Slings it downfield. And that pass is intercepted. Trying to take it back. Touchdown, Bama! And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return. Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
He's looking to throw. Gets it out quickly. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a 1st down.
quickly out to the tight end. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give them a first down.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across the field. If it's zone, he's got to sit down over the ball in a soft spot, giving his quarterback a place to go with it. Nice job of those guys being on the same page there.
Looking to scramble. And he tried to string out that run, but there was nowhere to turn it upfield, and he's forced out of bounds for a loss. And the offense sprung a big-time leak, and the quarterback went down.
And when you're throwing the football, you're trying to stop the best athletes in the world from getting to your quarterback. They're going to get there. They're pinning their ears back, get to the QB, get the sack.
Got it in the middle. It's Butler. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
Man, I love those guys that are willing to put their body on the line, and he does it right here, man. Just lays out. That ball's coming in. You can see it from several yards out, making that play, laying out, keeping the football from touching the turf. Great concentration, great effort by the receiver.
Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
And a big key on that throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped that guy get extra yards after the catch.
This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
Okay.
Syracuse doing business in the red zone. They go to the ground. Brought to the ground, but not before getting enough for the first down.
I love when players understand situations, and they understand where the first down marker is, and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big touchdown runs.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down.
4-2 Spider.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. With jet sweep pass. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
It's 3rd down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Bully ball on 3rd and short. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal.
Nice job by this offense converting the 3rd down. Listen, 3rd and short, they know you're going to run the football, and they still did a great job being physical. 3rd downs has been such a struggle for this offense. Bottom 50, one of the worst in college football. Nice job on that play.
Trying to barge their way in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Cuse.
And that's That's a nice drive, a nice physicality, punching it in with the run game. And here's the thing, I like where this offense is going. Nice job creating some momentum, going into the half, cutting down the lead. This thing could get really exciting. Nice job answering the bell right before the half.
Ready to try the point after. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Georgia looked dominant on the way to victory today. That offense had zero problem putting up points, and the defense almost resembled the days of Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and Nakobe Dean. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. Bringing it out. He's able to work his way across the 25 to the 26 before going out of bounds.
Ready?
Here comes that Alabama offense. Now they need to put something together to answer that last score.
There's a lot of pressure, too, on this offense to have to execute at a high level. They've got to score points, David, but they can't go too fast because their defense right now is tired.
And I think that's the difficulty being a play caller. Like, I have to balance all of those things. My defense is a little bit tired. I can't put it on the field, but I got to be aggressive because this is a back-and-forth type game, so a lot to process and think about.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Winton. Flushed out of the pocket. He fires it out to the right. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
And I tell you what, I know it's little when these QBs miss and the ball's not right to them, but, man, it makes such a difference with yards after the catch. And in this case, even catching the football, it was just a little bit off, and it just made it a little bit difficult for his wide receiver to try to make a catch.
Picks up just a few before he's brought down. Not really willing to take a risk there on 3rd and long. Talk about aggressive or wacky. This head coach is keeping his offense on the field inside his own 30. They're bringing heat. Makes the grab, and it's plenty for the first down. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down. The definition of 4-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere, just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do, but maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the first down. Nothing to worry about, Reese.
Got it.
Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10.
Ready.
The give to the back. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
And offenses want to continue to feature the run. They want balance. Even if it's not super successful, you can take it little bit at a time just to keep that defense honest.
To the air, it's Winton. Quarterback floating away from pressure. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off. And the freshman just showed those great ball skills and snatched it right out of the air.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. Now they're backed up here, Jesse. Wonder how aggressive they're willing to be.
I think it's going to come down to how much confidence they have in this quarterback and his decision-making, because you cannot throw an interception at this part of the field with this little time left.
And I think that's conversations you've had with the young fellow on the sidelines, being like, what are you comfortable with right here that we can run? Maybe stay aggressive, but make sure I don't make that mistake.
Ready,
After
set.
that big gainer to open things up, they'll put it in play from the 40.
Let's go. Ready, go.
They'll throw it on first down. Unloads to the wideout. And that pass intercepted. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always, always remember your first interception. He'll always remember this moment.
Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. These corners going to give these receivers some space. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
On the ready.
Offense gets set for second down.
Down. Go.
The play action fake. He's moving out of the pocket. Lets it fly. Makes the grab. The offense calls timeout, and they won't have any more left this half. And in the closing moments of the first half, they'll try to put a 3 spot on the board. And he's got to find the right combination of distance and accuracy from the right hash and 45 yards out. And that is no good. And the margin remains at 7 after the miss. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. Syracuse has it teed up, ready to kick off and start this second half. He'll bring it out. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Tide offense rolls onto the field.
Moves.
They'll open the second half on the ground. He'll be stopped just short of the 20 at the 19. Give him 1.
Ready up.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
Jackrabbit.
They'll try the run. Out across the 20 to the 21-yard line, a 3-yard gain.
Ready.
After the strong run on 2nd down, 3rd down coming. Do they do it again? They'll run it to the right side. Running with power. This offense has already converted once on 4th down. Can they do it again? He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Moving out of the pocket. He's got him, and they convert. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys. With that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
Cobra.
Here's the give off the left side. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
Okay, ready?
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9.
Green 25. Ready?
It's reverse. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
Well, this offense can get after you a variety of ways in the running game, and one of the ways they do it is by using their wide receivers on jet sweeps. Good example right there.
Weak.
To the ground to try to pick up the first. He'll be stopped short, picks up one, but they're facing 4th and 1.
Ready?
No sign of the punt team as they will go for it and try to move those chains.
Razor. Here we go.
And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty.
Okay.
Around midfield, go for it. This isn't 1930 football. Try to get the first down. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Fires to the wideout. Makes a grab enough for the first. And not much of a 4th down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing, an easy conversion for this offense. You talk about taking the wind out of a crowd, a 4th down conversion will do that.
Yeah, they were jacked up in here, excited. The fans get loud, rush the passer, and how about the conversion? The big 4th down conversion here in the 3rd quarter to give yourself some life in a tight ball game.
He'll pull it on the read. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
Well, the QB decided to keep it on that one. And listen, if you had his athleticism, you'd want to keep it too. Almost every time they run these types of option plays. But he's just going to have to do a good job of understanding when to hand it off, when to pitch it, and try to keep this defense on their heels and read his keys. He's got a lot of talent. Just got to make sure he's making the right decisions moving forward.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Already in chip shot field goal range at the 21, but this 3rd and short, they're still thinking touchdown.
2-9 ready.
He'll ride his man on the option. Got enough space. Touchdown tie. And they take it in for 6 more points.
And the running back gets his 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. You want to continue to feed this guy. You could tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great college football matchup. Tulsa is currently up big right now in a game they'll be talking about all along Route 66 for some time. They're up by 17 over the Sharks. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. The offense set for a 1st down play.
Set. Ready.
Looking to move it through the air. That's caught. It's Vega.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
Ready up.
The completion short of the sticks. It's 2nd down.
Flare. Ready go.
Running back searching for a hole. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the 1st down.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
They've crossed midfield at the 45 with a 1st and 10.
Set. Ready, ready.
They'll give it to the back. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on 1st down, make that 2nd down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
8-yard pickup on 1st down leaves them with 2nd and short.
Spider. Hey, when you kill it, motion me out.
Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. Tackle is made, but not until he gets the 1st down.
I love the idea, and I love just finding ways to get your best players out in the open field. This pre-snap motion and using it to their advantage on that last play, I think that was a nice call.
Syracuse has a really nice drive going. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Fires to the tight end. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
A nice job by the defense there tackling the catch and smothering the tight end. They know this offense is going to try to find him in the passing game in a lot of different situations. That time, perfect coverage, and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
Dropped after a pickup of 3 down to the 26.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run it.
Wants to throw on 3rd. Throws to the wideout. He's got it. They will score. Touchdown, Syracuse. Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime adjustments, and they go blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now. But it might be too little too late. At least you got the party started.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they're down a touchdown, 21-14. So that's a 59-yard touchdown drive. And they finish the deal with a 26-yard touchdown pass. Just about set to kick it away. And here's the return. Oh, he's going to bring it out. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down.
Well, that is a very disappointing kickoff return. They've got to do a better job up front blocking these guys running down the field. There was just nowhere for that return man to go.
Here comes that Alabama offense.
42 Spider.
Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Pollock.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
Okay. Ready.
2nd down now as they're ready to go back to work. Corners are going to bail.
Blue.
From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. Brought down at the 21, but a really big play there to pick up 10.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football, and the defense and everybody in this stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
Good little pickup there as he saw some daylight and got what he could.
Defense is all about creating negative plays, and he does a really good job at the quarterback spot of not taking sacks. Like, that's a great job. He wants to throw the football. The clock goes off, he takes off, and gets a positive gain.
Here comes the offense on second down. The give on the inside. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
Alabama with a 1st and 10 here.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead, and the offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football. So he's going back, he's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for you.
Here on third down, will they go back to the running game? Now. The option look. Now the pitch. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
Yeah, and if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
They have declared their intentions on this drive, keeping it on the ground. It's 1st and 10 again. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
And the running back there did everything that he's coached to do, right? They've got the lead late in this game. You've got to stay in bounds. You're finding yards. It's a positive run, but you're not going out of bounds. Really well done.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5.
Easy.
Back to the quarterback. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
Okay,
The
ready?
D thinking bring some heat on 3rd and long from the 44.
Jackrabbit. Ready, go.
Back to throw, it's Winton. Looking to the big tight end. A strike downfield. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
And what a big conversion by the offense there. With the lead late, you're just trying to stay on the field and bleed the clock. At this point, it's tick, 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 tick. Let's run this clock down as low as we can before we snap it.
With the run on 1st and goal. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer.
And the offense trying now to put this thing away. They're going to keep running the football to keep bleeding the clock. They've got the lead here late, now down by the goal line. Just take as many seconds off the clock as you can before snapping this football and keep running it.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. On 2nd and goal, he carries again. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of pay dirt.
Well, this offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
A touchdown here on 3rd and goal really ratchets up the game pressure. Getting a little fancy with a give to the wide receiver here. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Alabama! They extend the lead here in the fourth, and after stumbling early, about to push their record to 3-1. And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. FIU is trailing right now, and I know it may look bleak, but this team needs to regroup, remind itself it's at home, and remember just how quickly things can change. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to the Astronauts. We'll circle back if anything big happens you should know about.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out. You need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. Really nice run there. Good, solid pickup, and they'll move the sticks for the first down.
On the ready.
Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs.
Here we go.
Running to the left. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
And oh, he was off to the races after the catch, and they finally drag him down.
Hey, QBs, when you see zone coverage, man, can you manipulate defense when you have a good pocket and you've got time to throw. He had a little bit of time to throw. You can move guys with your eyes. That drag comes wide open. Good throw, good catch, first down.
The freshman able to get home with the sack.
And that's exactly what this defense needed. They needed to have something positive. Giving up some yardage, they've given up some plays, no big deal. Got right back in it on this drive with that big sack.
Second down now after the sack. Pulls it in, it's Vega. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
On the set.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one.
42 Spider.
On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And that is interception number 3 on the day. Not much of a chance on the return, but they'll have the ball at the 33.
That should be the nail in the coffin. What a great break on the football. Getting the big turnover. You got the lead. Now just go out there, be smart on offense, and run that clock.
He's looking deep. And they couldn't make the connection on the long shot.
And when you're a quarterback, man, I know wide receivers are great athletes and they're supposed to catch everything that gets near them, but when you don't put it right on the center, when they're running a lot of times, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. And I think he did that a little bit too much for his wide receiver right there.
He's not afraid to go deep. Snags it on the right. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32.
You know, there are probably a lot of coaches out there with a lead like this that would like to run the ball and see if they could ice this game and bleed the clock. Not this coaching staff. They are going to be aggressive. They are going to continue taking shots.
The lone back's got it. And a pickup of 8 opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
And how good does that feel, right? You've got the lead in the fourth quarter. The defense knows you're going to try to run the ball to ice the game, and you rip off an 8-yard run. They know it's coming, and they still can't stop it.
Headed to the end zone, and he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
From inside the 15, here comes the return. Able to find enough room to get it out across the 25, he's brought down at the 26.
Okay.
A first down for the offense.
Set. Ready. Go over.
He's gonna pass. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
The offense came into this game knowing that for them to win, they were going to have to make some big plays throwing the football. That just has not been the case. Here in the fourth quarter, they've been held to less than 200 passing yards, and that's really the story of the game, guys.
He's going to pass on second down. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. They won the game today. That's 2 in a row. If they win the next one, it's called a winning streak. It's been done before.
And we're seeing the identity of this team coming to fruition. You just get the sense they're finding out who they are, what they're about, what they're going to do schematically, and who their big playmakers are.
Which is tough to do, right? It's tough to grow throughout a season and understand who you are. But when you stack wins week after week on top of each other and start to have success, you start to grow as an identity and you start to understand who you are.
That's going to do it for us from